What's going on, people? I bought my dream automobile. I know it's a Sprinter van. Some of you guys are gonna ask, like, why is it a dream? So I always wanted one. For reason being, I looked at this vehicle as being a pickup truck with the roof over it, and actually you can stand in it and walk. So this is a 170. It's not a 177, I believe. Wheelbase, the length. This is old FedEx van. You can see it got painted over with the Litex paint that will get washed off. Anyways, so I thought they were really cool. They're very popular overseas. There's lots of them. Up here, they're nice, popular. They kind of start becoming popular. Anytime I would look one in an auction, they bring in stupid money. I didn't want to spend $20,000. So this is old FedEx package car, delivery van, whatever you want to call it. And it has lots of miles. You ready for this? It has 421,000 miles on it. So I bought it, and what was it, last Tuesday or something like that, right here in the hometown. And called a tow truck, and anyways, they ended up going picking it up. I didn't know if it ran or anything, so I got it, and I pulled dipstick out. Come to find out, there's no oil in it. I'm like, crap. So I went and got some oil. As I was dumping oil, there was a huge puddle. So I looked underneath it. Actually has a busted oil pan, like big time busted right here. Yeah, not good. I don't know if it happens, what happened at the auction or whatever. So I ended up putting a new oil pan in it. Surprisingly, it's cheap. I bought one off of Amazon, fit perfectly. I think it was $58 or something like that. Put oil in it, voila, the thing runs. The only problem I have now, the transmission shit to bed. So this is the whole video. Basically, it's going to be about the transmission. Let me lay down over here. So the transmission is toasted. The reason being, once is too many miles. Second of all, it's a lot of stops. So park, drive, and I mean, this thing takes a toll on it. So then I was looking, they actually got a new rack and pinion on it. They got a new AC pump, they got a new starter on it. So FedEx does maintain their stuff pretty well. So the transmission went out, that's why they decided to junk it. No big deal for the mechanic. I ended up buying one transmission. I gotta go get it, but. So what happened with the transmission, something failed, and I think it's torque converter or something. This is the valve body off of it. It was full of metal. I already cleaned it out. I got a bunch of metal. See how metal on a magnet? So this is bad. I broke this by mistake. I didn't realize there was a bolt there. It's hard to find the information. So anytime you take the valve body off, there's a bolt that holds this plug through it. And this plastic ended up breaking. But then I did research, this plastic always cracks on them. Anyways, there's a pan got cleaned out. There was a bunch of settlement on the bottom. So I found a transmission. It's kind of tricky to find a transmission for. The problem is, anytime you buy one from a junkyard, it will have really high miles. So if you find one with 200,000 miles, that's actually not a high miles. If you get one with like 400,000 miles, I consider them being a high mileage. But it depends on which application they were used. So if they were using driving down a highway with that many miles, it's fine. But the problem is, you don't know. So I bought one with 175,000 miles. It's $1,000, and they come out of. My main thing was to find one not from FedEx package car. So I think I did found. I asked him what a car to come out as. It was a FedEx van. He said no, it's not. It was some private deal in the guy in the accident. There's very limited on them. To rebuild one of these transmissions, it costs outrageous. I checked, they wanted $6,000 to rebuild my transmission, which you can buy a valve body for them. Amazon actually has them, and they're like $600, anywhere from $390 to like $650, I believe that's what they were. And I decided to stick a new one in. in the new one. Used, new to me, but this thing will, whatever they pull it out, they will call me. I gotta go get it, and we will bolt it back together, and hopefully everything else is fine. Maybe the rear end is bad or something, but like I said, I wanted one. So my plan is, I'll show you inside. My plan is with this vehicle, fix up all this plastic, whatever, making it more pleasant. I want to move this bulkhead door back. I will get rid of that seat and actually put two normal seats in it. The seats are actually pretty cheap. We'll go back a little bit. Why did I buy specifically this van? First of all, it's cheap. I got like $3,500 in it at this point in time. The motor runs, it's good. Transmission, if it comes down to me, either bad motor or bad transmission, I prefer to have a bad transmission because they're cheaper and it's easy to change it. You don't have to tear the half a van apart. And so that's what I got. Another reason specifically this van is you can see there's hardly any rust. Like there's minor startup rust. Usually, this is 2011. By now they gone. They like junk. So this bulkhead door will get moved over here. I will take all the shelves out. Well, I'll take this shelves off and this shelves off, and I will leave this shelves right here. They fold out. They're pretty nice. And I want to carpet the ceiling. I'm gonna put one chair, well, either bench seat or two separate. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but I want to make from here on, this is gonna be the passenger side, and then the rest of it is gonna be cargo. And if this vehicle is good, my plan is to rust proof it. I want to take everything inside, like the all these panels right here, and I will boil some candle wax. Actually candle with used oil, and I want to blow it inside in every hole, whatever I can do to prevent from rusting. And maybe eventually, I said that in every vehicle I buy, I might just repaint the sights on it, like fix this little rust right here, and whatever has rust, like the back doors. Usually the back doors are gone. This one is actually pretty decent. Fix all this little spot up, little rust spots, and maybe just repaint a single stage, just the sides, like run a hard line right here, or roll the edge off of it and just repaint it. So if you want to buy one of this with that many miles but mechanically sound, they still bring in like between $10,000 to $15,000. They used to go dirt cheap. Nobody wanted them. Now they like kind of, for some reason they went in high demand after the pandemic. So that's what I ended up having. I bought one. 421,000 miles. I will record another video on it when I put a transmission in it, and on the first test drive. Hopefully it runs fine. But the motor sounds really good. So I don't know exactly if the motor is good, but sitting, idling, revving it up seems fine. But Mercedes diesel is one of those. They will run fine, but they will not have compression, and they will lose power. And I came across few Mercedes engines. They ran, like you start them up, they start no problem, they will run. But then you step on the gas pedal, put it in gear and step on the gas pedal, it doesn't go. Like the engine has no power. Like there's not enough compression to create enough horsepower, torque, whatever you want to call it. So that's all what I got, people. So stay tuned for episode 2 of Sprinter van from FedEx. Yeah, and I work for UPS. It will look funny when I will park. If I just wash the paint off and you still can see FedEx, UPS employee driving a FedEx van. How about that?